All right, man. You know, you know what I'm tired of. You know what I'm super tired of. I'm sick of. Just ah, sick of it. Businesses that don't accept Bitcoin. Now look, now look. Okay, you get it. You just don't know how to accept Bitcoin. Tax implications of Bitcoin, etc., 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 etc. Look, it is. I'll put it like this, man. Um, you always want to accept more Bitcoin, right? Look, if you're out there and you're like, you know what, Teddy, I don't want Bitcoin. I want more dollars. I only invest in Bitcoin because I want to have more dollars. If that's you, then I don't have nothing for you. You can just turn the video off now. You know what I'm saying? Just move on. But if you're like, you know what, I do want more Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I want to accumulate more Bitcoin. And how do I do it? Right? What you have to like wrap your head around is that when Bitcoin's up, that's great. Whatever Bitcoin you bought has a great value. And when Bitcoin's down and you earn Bitcoin through your business, right? That you accumulate more Bitcoin per dollar than you do when it was up, right? So like when Bitcoin's up, you get more fiat for your Bitcoin. When Bitcoin's down, you get more Bitcoin for your fiat, right? And so, if you sell $10 widgets, your widgets are always going to be worth $10, right? But if you're accepting Bitcoin, you're getting less Bitcoin for that $10, on those widgets, but you're getting, when Bitcoin's up, but you're getting more Bitcoin for that $10 on your widgets when Bitcoin's down. Now, why does it matter, right? Look, if you for your operating expenses and things you need to do day to day, I get it, I understand. You could sell that Bitcoin immediately and turn it into cash. Because remember, capital gains is only on profit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't pay capital gains, on stuff that's not a profit. You know what I mean? Like, when you sell a $10 widget, that's not a profit. You know what I'm saying? So, it's treated like you would treat fiat in terms of the tax implications. And I'm not an accountant, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research and check the laws within your state, right? But from my understanding, this is what it is. So anyway, by earning Bitcoin, you skip a step of earning fiat and then transferring it through your bank account to an exchange and then trading it and then storing it. Like, that becomes a whole what do you call it? Like, there's a bunch of fees that get processed in there. It's a big, something that just kills the amount of money that you're accumulating because of all the fees, But, also, that's the only way to do it right now. There's no other way to turn fiat into Bitcoin without going through some kind of exchange, right? So somebody somewhere has crypto, they're selling it on an exchange. You have fiat, you're buying it on an exchange. It's just the only way to get crypto, unless you earn it. Now, if you earn it, you have clients that are sending you or paying with Bitcoin, and they're putting it in your wallet. Okay, like, how do you accept it? So to accept Bitcoin, all you have to do is download a wallet. Okay, there's hella wallets out there. It's literally just an app on your phone. Don't have somebody deposit Bitcoin into your exchange wallet. Okay, this is your your crypto.com app or Binance app or Coinbase or whatever. Don't do that. Get you an Exodus app or a BitPay app or something like that, where it's standalone, it's non-custodial, which means that you're responsible for your funds on there, not some company, not some other person, housing your coin. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your Bitcoin. Okay, that's the God's honest truth. If it's not your keys, and Uncle Sam decides that Binance isn't paying enough taxes, and whenever Binance gets an office, and they say, you know what, all that Bitcoin's ours now. And guess what? It's theirs. You know what I mean? It's frozen. And until all that gets worked out, however they want to work it out too, your funds are there. They're frozen. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that nobody else has control over your keys, because you can take charge of your own tax liabilities and responsibilities, and all the things you need to do to be fiscally and legally responsible. You could take control of all that. You don't need a third party to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? So and you don't want to trust a third party to do that either, because you just don't know how they're going to do things. So especially if it's funds for your business, you don't want to put that in the hands of somebody else, right? And you already have to do that with your bank, and sometimes that can be problematic. Banks are getting hacked every day, identities are getting stolen every day, and they wreak havoc, and you got to go through this whole process of trying to get your funds back and trying to get your identity restored, and blah 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 blah. I also I have a few friends that had businesses that did very well. They're making like maybe 150, 200 grand a year, and they're taking money and they're depositing it, and it's a business, so not everything's checks. Sometimes people pay with cash. You know what I mean? And so they're taking cash and they're depositing it, and it's accumulating to be large sums of money. That banks are trying to catch drug dealers, people who sell drugs or sell stolen goods, or prostitution or whatever, right? And so in the spirit of that, that noble cause, you know what I'm saying? The banks told my friends, some of them owned lawn care businesses, some of them owned barbershops, and whatever, right? But they told my friends that, hey, your account is frozen today. Like, just out of the blue, randomly, we're freezing your account. We're not going to investigate. We're not going to ask you why. We're going to freeze it, and you're not going to have access to those funds indefinitely. And they had to be like, yo, what are you talking about? What are you doing? What's going on here? And they had to try to prove that they weren't drug dealers, or running a prostitution ring or a gambling ring or whatever, just to get access to their money. And this is what I'm saying, right? Like, when somebody, like, if you take your money and you give it to somebody else, right? They have control over it. In crypto, you can have the utmost control over your own coin. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a major piece that a lot of people just, I don't know, they glance over, right? Like, they treat it as if, oh yeah, that's cool. They don't realize the heavy, the gravity of that attribute, self-custodying your coin to where it's unconfiscatable. You must divulge the password or the private key to your wallet in order for somebody else to get access to it. You know what I'm saying? That's not a small thing. It's a huge deal. And so, when you accept payments for your business, it goes into that kind of vault. And then you decide from there how much of it needs to leave the vault in order for you to handle your day-to-day operations, in order for you to pay bills at the end of the month, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But if Bitcoin goes up, great, all the coin that you had goes up. And if Bitcoin went down, then you get more Bitcoin on every transaction. And then when it goes up, you have more Bitcoin. So, like, if Bitcoin has a 3-year bear market where it's down, which I don't think is going to happen, but if Bitcoin has a 3-year bear market where it's down, and it's terrible, but you've been accepting Bitcoin for your business for 3 years, and the business just keeps growing, you know what I mean? Just keeps expanding. You keep doing sales. You keep accumulating Bitcoin, and yeah, you gotta pay this, you gotta pay that, and you're selling every month. But man, you're building up your stash of Bitcoin and accumulating more Bitcoin. When the price goes up, all of that work that you put in for the last 3 years pays off quite substantially. You know what I mean? In the way that Bitcoin moves. Dude, I've been telling people to get into Bitcoin since $3,000 twice. You know what I mean? $4,000, $1,500. You know what I mean? 8,000, 7K. I've been telling people to get in 10K, having like full convos with all the details. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people don't really get it. You know, and they see it go to 50,000 and 40,000, and they're like, "Dude, man, I should have bought." And they still say I should have bought, and they don't buy at 40,000. You know what I'm saying? And me, I've been buying since a G, and I still buy at 40K. You know what I mean? Still buying. You know what I mean? Still buying at 50K and 60K. I'm still buying because I see the long-term potential of where this is going. So if you're accumulating and you're stacking and you're playing the longer game, I believe it's going to pay off for you. You know what I'm saying? So something to think about, something you should have in your mind about, you know, investing in crypto and accepting payments in your business with Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever coin that you feel like. I think you should do Bitcoin, but you know, I'll take any other cryptocurrency as long as it's like a decent one. I'm not taking Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV. I'm not taking Ethereum Classic, you know, but a lot of other coins, shoot, I'll take it. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, man, it's my 2 cents. Be safe. Have a good time. All right. And I'll see you on the next one, man. Hope everything works out for you, bro. Love you. Peace.